Hey, and welcome back to Grown Folk Reactions. I'm Deborah, and today I'm here to give the side eye to a few conspiracy theory videos. These videos are for entertainment and educational purposes only, and my comments or opinions are my own. So, if you want to stick with me through the end of this video, let's go.
If you're an organ donor, hospitals might not try to save you. Watch this.
Remember that conspiracy theory where it was saying if you have organ donor on your card and you get into an accident, hospitals will either let you die or actually actively try to kill you to get your organs? Well, it's no longer a conspiracy theory. It has just been confirmed by a new article in the New York Times, and it says a push for more organ transplants is putting donors at risk. People across the United States have endured rushed or premature attempts to remove their organs. Some are gasping, crying, or showing other signs of life. I'm a little speechless because this is real. This is a real thing that's happened. They have so many different examples of this within this article. I read it for free because somebody posted a gifted version on Twitter. So go there to find this article if you want to read the whole thing. It's really disturbing and this is insane.
I have got to change my driver's license. I thought back in the day that when I first got my license that I was doing something super good and saying that if something happens to me, I want you to donate my organs. But I don't want that to be the reason why they won't do anything to help me if I land up in the hospital in an emergency situation, or they try to take me out. And it takes me back to the young lady who was pregnant and they had her on life support for a long time so that the baby can be born. Like, it's all such a freaking nightmare nowadays that I just don't know. I know what we're coming to.
You know how in every single radio song they always use like la 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 la, oh, not another word, just la la la, or rah rah
What does that mean?
They're all names of Egyptian gods.
No way.
The most famous one is the deity Nana, the moon god, a Mesopotamian moon god. So singing these songs is what? It's preaching, praying to that thing. So you hear Rihanna say it all the time. In bare songs, they do it though. Another one, in Egyptian culture, Ra is the sun god, the creator of all other gods and humans. And you can hear Lady Gaga singing.
What other ones are there?
La la la. Tyler the Creator. So La is a deity, is a minor ancient Egyptian moon god who eventually becomes Khonshu. This god is supposed to be the one that helps Moon Knight. I don't know if you know Marvel like that.
No.
But that's the moon god.
What in the hell kind of situation are we living in?
Now, this spot is a secret spot. By stimulating this spot, guys, you're able to stimulate and activate your spiritual qualities. You're able to awaken your psychic centers. You're able to awaken your third eye. So, guys, I'm pleased to share this with y'all, but this is the ancient practice ninjas use to develop their psychic bodies, to develop their consciousness, to develop the energy, the consciousness here that corresponds to the spirit. Once again, the science is the use of pressure. You create pressure at this location, and you do it by doing this. This is the exercise the ancient ninjas did. By me putting my forehead on the floor, I'm putting my body in the best position where pressure can be on the center line of my forehead. Now, as you do this exercise, what's important is that you open your chest. This exercise is marvelous for the spine. It gives your body a complete stretch, as you can see. I like to do movements as I do it. By staying like this, you're basically telling your body to meditate. You're opening up your third eye. Okay, guys, so like I said before, I hope you understand what we're doing here. We're trying to create pressure. We're trying to generate circulation. Our face is a hologram. There are various points in our face we can stimulate to bring about a result in the body. By stimulating this area here, this center line, what happens is it encourages the generation of awareness and mindfulness and consciousness. This area basically calms the mind. It's a gateway. It's a shortcut into a deep meditation. Just by you doing that exercise, you will instantly access altered states of consciousness where you're deeply inside a deep meditation. Here's some things you need to know about this point I speak of. Any type of fiery energy disturbs the functioning of this region of the body. And what I mean by that, any type of turbulence, any type of agitation, or any type of anxiety, fear, anger, all these very extreme emotions, believe it or not, is all stored here. And Anger is stored here. Grief is stored here. And all these different type of emotions really mess up the functioning of this region of the body. What you want is stillness. What you want is nothingness. You want a void to be present here. You want an all-knowing void to be present here. And the way you can do that is by generating mindful energy, by generating consciousness energy, by generating psychic energy. And you do that by stimulating this point. Now, I'm going to put this in this video because a lot of people are misled. A lot of people think the third eye is right here in front of my forehead. But really, the chakra we're talking about is located in the center of your brain. By you stimulating this place, it connects directly to the center of your brain, and you'll be able to bring about a more mindful state of consciousness. That exercise is the best exercise you can do for your third eye. It's the best exercise you can do for your throat chakra. It's the best exercise you can do for your heart chakra. That exercise basically works all the chakra systems of the body. It opens every single one, and it's like a shortcut for you to begin to bring the energy of this center to manifest. What else can I say? That exercise is great for nasal problems. Anybody that has problem with the sinuses, the vibrations and the pressure will be able to break up all the mucus and whatever is going on. It's also good for your eyes. The more sin, the more psychic energy, the more mind energy you generate here, the more healthier your eyes will be. You'll be able to amaze people with your beautiful gaze. You'll be able to have a very compelling gaze. And all this comes by developing this center here.
So why don't they want us to open up our third eye? Are we going to be able to see past all the BS? This reminds me also once I had bought a crystal. I'm not exactly sure which one it was. And my grandsons were over trying, just like visiting. And the little one that likes to go around finding everything. He found my crystal and took it out of its little pouch. And he put that crystal right here just automatically. As soon as he took it out of the pouch, he put it right here. And I was wondering, what does this baby know that I don't know? Anyway, I would love to be able to open up my crown chakra or my third eye. But I can't do that exercise. Not yet. I'm not flexible enough. I'm going to get there.
The United States is owned by foreign corporations. Nixon opened it up for foreign trade. And when Nixon opened up for foreign trade, the people of Europe and the common market in Spain and different places, they don't care about the United States forest. And in short, the United States has been sold out by people who really don't care for anything but money. I've had all the money in the world 3 times. I had to give it back to keep the game going.
What game?
The game. It's a game. Money is a game. It's only real to the people who work for it. The people that don't need to work for money, it's a monopoly game. It's a game of paper. It's all on paper. I've got a production company, and I've got a recording company, and I've got a mansion in Beverly Hills, and I've got Rolls Royces and Ferraris. I've got everything money can buy, but it's all on paper. Everything's done through the companies and through the tax loopholes. And the people that live on that level, they don't care about the average honest mule that just goes back and forwards to work. They don't care about the children that are in the streets that are thrown out of this upper echelon of existence. And then when all the children fall down into me on my level, I pretty much identify with them because I was a throwaway also. So it goes to the point of, do you really care?
When you said...
And who does care? And if anybody cares, they're considered crazy. I've been 15 years in the nut ward for trying to stop the trees from being cut down, from trying to rearrange a lifestyle of a bunch of people who don't want to change. But they're going to change because the cold wind is blowing.
Now, I've heard a lot of people say that he was crazy, but not one person have I heard say he was unintelligent.
The darkest conspiracy theories. The Titanic theory. The theory says that the Titanic never hit an iceberg. J.P. Morgan, owner of the Titanic, had 2 different cruise ships, the Olympic and the Titanic. He knew that the Olympic was old and rusty. so he switched the names and the colors of the ships. The theory argues that he wanted to sink the ship because all of JP Morgan's business competitors were on board. None of them survived the trip. Morgan himself cancelled the voyage a few minutes before the journey began. Do you think this theory could be true, or is it just a stupid conspiracy theory?
In my personal opinion, I think it's true. And I have been hearing this a lot over the last few years.
So, apparently, it's a bunch of people that didn't know that it was illegal to talk to dolphins. Let's go and dive in this hole for rabbits. See, now, it is against the law to interact with dolphins unless you are in an aquarium, zoo, theme park, etc. The reason for this is to not protect the dolphins, but to stop humans from developing a connection with mammals that are actually smarter than us. Dolphins have a cerebral cortex that is 40% larger than humans. Then they go along to say that they have knowledge about ancient civilizations like Atlantis and Lemuria. And that left me curious on how can we communicate with a dolphin? In every image that I have seen a dolphin communicate, they use their foreheads. Yeah, like their third eye. And the form of communication that they're using is called ultrasound. Guess who else uses ultrasound to communicate? Isn't that how babies communicate, through ultrasound? And then look at this, can dolphins stimulate brain growth in babies? See, the scientists in Peru say the squeals and squeaks in dolphins may stimulate the brain in an unborn child. In one aquarium, let their babies line up to communicate with dolphins, because it stimulates the brain growth in babies. Now y'all kind of getting the gist on why they don't want us to communicate with dolphins. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it being illegal to communicate with dolphins in the comments. Like, follow for more wisdom. Stay tuned. Follow me on YouTube if y'all want that exclusive content. Stay tapped in. And by the way, TikTok, entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only, but I want to find a way to be able to communicate with a dolphin without the people coming for me. I just want to be close to the dolphins. That's all. I just want to be close. Yeah, those are the dorkiest poses ever. So there must be something to it to make all these celebrities do the exact same poses. All I want to say is the Simpsons are not giving predictions. It's predictive programming, meaning this is where they're showing us everything in plain sight. Yes, why do all these celebrities have a black eye? I remember listening to Orlando Brown saying that it's not because, in my own words, it's not because they got hit in the eye or some kind of trauma to the face, but it's backdoor action that's causing them to have these black eyes, i.e. an initiation. What do you think?
There's no way people get killed for speaking up about things. That's just a silly conspiracy.
And boom, there you are.
This right here is one of the many reasons why I have a major problem with the entertainment industry. Just around a week ago, New York Fashion Week took place and a lot of influencers had on these same exact sunglasses. Supposedly, when wearing these sunglasses in photos, it allows your face to be slightly blurred so that people can't use deepfake technology on you. The weird thing about it is that they constantly had security coming up to these influencers telling them to take the glasses off. And then when you take into consideration how much AI technology has advanced within these past couple of years, it makes you wonder what these paparazzi are really using these pictures for. Y'all just pay attention to how weird it gets when the security keeps coming back and forth. And y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.
That's weird. That's weird.
Was portraying to the world, all right, he was a straight man, all right? But in his autobiography, he actually admitted to being bisexual, all right? And also, he had an on and off relationship with Marlon Brando. Now, I'm going to show y'all this clip because every entertainer, like I said, is not one that's exception to the rules. Every last one of them all sold they soul in some shape, form, or fashion, right? But check this clip out right here, y'all.
That sold my soul, and there was no reason to live anymore, to be a part of the world. I was worthless and useless. If a man had all this opportunity, and all I ended up doing is sitting in the house smoking a bass pipe.
Now, Richard Pryor, God rest his soul, had died from a heart attack in 2005. All right, they attributed it to him smoking cigarettes for 4 years straight, right? Well, not cigarettes, but tobacco. All right. Now, his family said that when he passed away, he died with a smile on his face. So maybe, just maybe he got some peace of mind while actually passing away. All right. I've heard stories of Eazy-E actually repenting on his deathbed and stuff like that. So maybe Richard Pryor came to his senses a few minutes before he passed. But I just want to let y'all know, man, this stuff right here is no joke, man. Like, the entertainment industry will turn people out. All right. And for the most part, a lot of celebrities go through these things. All right. You just never hear these stories, but it does happen.
I feel like I know a lot of celebrities go through these things because they come out initially fresh and excited, and then after some years in the business, you see them kind of turn into like this lost, empty shell. Like somebody just took everything from them, and I mean absolutely every cell of their being has been taken from them. And just like he said that Richard Pryor admitted to being bisexual, maybe he didn't want to be bisexual, and the system made him do it, basically. And that's why he looks like he no longer has a soul.
This kind of stuff drives me crazy. Call me a conspiracy theorist, call me whatever you want. But part of me thinks that this is being done on purpose. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So a while back, I did this video on the risk of thyroid medications and med masking. And if you look at these ingredients that are in these different medications, there are several of these ingredients that can actually make your thyroid condition much worse. Obviously, we have the artificial colors. We have things like cornstarch, these different dyes. And it's interesting because, whether this is by design or not, a lot of these things are making the person that's on thyroid medication need more thyroid medication long term. So what do you think? Do you think this is just a coincidence, or do you think this is maybe done on purpose? If you want to learn more, I did an entire webinar on the topic of how to improve your thyroid.
I absolutely think it's being done on purpose. My opinion. Excuse me, my personal opinion. But I feel like there's a reason why medication is pushed so much in the healthcare system.
State of Oklahoma is now going to require new teachers to prove that they're loyal to Donald Trump before hiring them. Yeah, this is how crazy these MAGA lunatics are in the state of Oklahoma. Teachers from California and New York who want to work in Oklahoma public schools will be required to pass a certification test to prove that they share the state's conservative political values. Regardless of the subject or grade they teach, they'll have to show they know the biological differences between male and females and that they agree with the state's American history standards, which includes elements of a conspiracy theory that the 2020 election wasn't fair. They say that New York and California are teaching things that are, quote, antithetical to our standards. So I guess the standards in Oklahoma is conspiracy theory. And as has been pointed out correctly, Oklahoma currently ranks 50th last in education among U.S. states, 49th in ACT, 45th in SAT scores, 48th in reading, 44th in math, 46th in dropout rates, and more. So maybe Oklahoma should be focused on trying to make their education system better and actually help kids to read and do basic math instead of doing these dumb political litmus tests.
And instead, they're making everything worse by trying to hide historical facts and being worried about whether somebody is loyal to DT, whether somebody follows their beliefs. Why does it matter? Like, we're all different. We all have different beliefs. So I think I would be kicking ass out of Oklahoma. No, thank you for the job. I'm not going there.
There's a conspiracy theory that claims that we're already dead, and the evidence comes from science. There are two things that are documented to happen when someone clinically dies. The first is that your entire life will flash before your eyes, and the second is that your brain keeps working 7 minutes after your body is gone. And we've literally recorded the brain still firing after death, actively creating memories. So for 7 minutes, we're in this dreamlike state where we're reliving our entire life. And according to this guy you may have heard of, Albert Einstein, time is relative. But what does that actually mean? This is suggesting that 7 minutes in the real world could feel like 100 years in the dream state. Kind of like when you fall asleep, you dream an entire movie, then wake up 5 minutes later. Now here's where it gets weird. Some people believe that we all died in 2012. That's when the Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world. And remember, this is all just for fun, and this is just a conspiracy theory. This theory suggests that instead of an apocalypse, we collectively slipped into this 7-minute brain echo. And this right here, right now, is our dream. This is us reliving our memories. And little time glitches, little weird things like the Mandela effects, or like deja vu, or feeling like the world is off, those are just cracks in the memory trying to keep itself stitched together. So this theory is saying that that would mean that the world did end and we just haven't accepted it yet. Do you think we're 7 minutes into the afterlife? You can come over here for longer freaky videos.
If this is me reliving those 7 minutes, can we just not, I don't know that I believe the world ended in 2012. Because if it was ended in 2012, I wouldn't have all of these memories as an older person that I'm reliving, I feel like. Because I was really young in 2012. So, I don't know. My mind is just not wrapping itself around this whole...
of Nobel Prize winners were rounded up by United Nations military units, all right? And actually forced at gunpoint to give semen samples in little plastic jars, which are now stored below Rockefeller Center underneath the ice skating rink. Wouldn't want to be there for the thaw. I mean, it's disgusting. You know what they put in the water, don't you? Fluoride. Yeah, fluoride. On the pretext that it strengthens your teeth. That's ridiculous. You know what this stuff does to you? It actually weakens your will, takes away the capacity for free and creative thought, and makes you a slave to the state. So you ever wonder about all these militia groups, survivalist type kooks from the right-wing side? They say that they're defending the country from the UN troops. These guys are yelling so loud, my theory is, and this is a conspiracy, pal, that they are the UN troops and that they're in place. The infrastructure's ready, it's just a fait accompli. When the time comes, they'll just take over, we'll all be toast. Oswald, that's what I said, Oswald. He said, I'm just a patsy, and that means that he didn't do it, right? I mean, George Bush knew what he was saying when he said New World Order. Remember those three little words, New World Order? Well, he was a 33rd degree Mason, you know, and as ex-director of the CIA. He knew that saying that was the chip for identification so they could track down an animal anywhere he's at. You'll insert it under the dog's skin, and it's kind of like an identification thing. I mean, it's only a small, logical step until they start putting it in us and our children. And then before we know it, my God, they'll probably come with the pretext. Oh, sure, yeah. Hey, is that one of those new hundreds? You know, where they changed the picture of Ben Franklin? Look at him. Yeah. He looks like the love child of Fred Burtz and Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, get rid of him as soon as you can, lady. Look at it up to the light. You see the metal strip in it? That's a tracking device. If you got any more of those at home, get rid of them. Exchange them for goods or something. Because they'll follow you. They know where every one of those hundreds is going.
Say the rocks were alive, I meant the rocks were alive. Do you really think this is just coincidence? Do you really think this is just some pareidolia? We're not just seeing faces here. A whole lot more than just faces. A coincidence is going to the market and seeing your friend there. At the same time, pareidolia is seeing faces in clouds. This isn't seeing faces in clouds. Just think of where all that pink Himalayan salt comes from. Now people say, that's not how fossilization works, or we got carbon dating, but how accurate is it? You know they lie to us about everything. Just look at some of this petrification. Some of these artifacts that have no explanation. Petrification and fossilization takes a lot shorter than they tell us. And in the right scenario, like one big, massive, cataclysmic event, you have a perfect petri dish for what you see here. Geology. That is nothing more than hardened biology. Question everything, friends. Especially the pink Himalayan salt. Until next time, friends.
Did you see the one that had eyelashes, though? So how can they tell us that none of this is true, it's pareidolia, blah, 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 but then they show you videos of people who were in some kind of nuclear war or nuclear accident, and they are turned to stone in place. So I believe a lot of that. I honestly believe a lot of that, and I believe that we honestly need to open our minds up, because there could be a lot of stuff being hidden from us in plain sight.
That's the only cut I made, okay? I don't think there's any watermelon in there. He's really looking forward to watermelon today. What? It's completely hollow, and it looks fine on the outside. Like, I thought this was a good... Oh my God. Do you see that? There is nothing left in there. Oh my gosh. What a waste.
Y'all, this is so disgusting. I've never seen nothing like this in my life. I don't even buy these seedless watermelons. I go to Sprouts, get a seedless watermelon. Look at this. I'm so glad I did not eat this. What is that?
Can someone please tell me what is going on with this watermelon?
I keep trying to tell y'all, stop eating this seedless shit. So my coworker ended up bringing me a watermelon the other day just because I love watermelon, and I finally cut into it. Like, what is this? Honestly, it feels like flesh. This looks weird. This right here, like, what is this? It has holes for seeds, but there are no seeds in there. And the fact that I could just rub my finger across it like that is even more alarming. And then, like this, y'all, please stop eating this secret stuff. It is not good for you. It doesn't even smell. It has no smell to it whatsoever. I even tried to give it to my dog, and he was like, yeah, nah, I ain't gonna eat that. Just what? What is this? I'm good. This is not a real watermelon. Look at this. Watermelon, you're not supposed to be doing this. You got a spot for seeds, but no seeds.
WTF does that look like? Stop eating seedless watermelons.
And that is why I do not eat seedless watermelons. I don't believe that they are real. I believe that they have been highly modified, and I don't want that. I want a natural watermelon. I believe.
I never
Put
got
it
into
in your
this stuff,
face.
ever. I don't care about it. And this is the problem. Nobody really does. But folks, when I lay out a clear, absolute clear, you cannot dispute this with the money that I have in front of me. There's no way to dispute this at all. You follow the track right now with me, and you look at when you fold an airplane, a paper plane with your money, and you go from the $1 bill to the $100 bill, okay? And listen to me when I say this, okay? I just showed you the beginning of this video on Google that they redesigned the money in 1996. They started with the $100 bill. And then they moved on to the 50, and then the 20, and then the 10. And it goes 1996, 1997, 1998, and then in 2000 they were done with the redesign. Folks, this is undisputable. They executed a plan that was already planned. Okay, here's the 1 to the 5. The towers are hit. The buildings are falling. The buildings are gone, and all there's left is smoke. This is not a joke, okay? Now, I can hear some pastor right now. Oh, you're spreading fear. You know, truth is only fearful to those that don't want the truth because they would rather hide themselves from the truth. And you ready for this, folks? If I take the $20 bill right now, and I fold it like such in front of you. And this is the mind blower, okay? You tell me what you see when I fold this $20 bill. I'm going to fill the whole. I'm going to cut off his head a little bit here. Do you see a guy wearing a mask? Is there a guy wearing a mask? Is that Andrew Jackson upside down, but they made his head bigger because they want him to wear a mask? And what year did they want him to wear a mask? Oh, look at that. 2020.
When are we going to stop acting like they don't have these things planned out years in advance and they throw it in our faces and we don't pay?
If you guys want to know if someone actually loves you, when they give you flowers, you can tell if they really love you if the flowers die quickly or they survive longer. And listen, just hear it out,
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are going to be saying, that's a dumb superstition, right? But look, when someone says, my mom cooks with love, doesn't your mom's cooking taste way better than any other person?
Yeah, it's true.
Or a lot of people can say, yeah, it's a bad bunch of flowers, but isn't it like we always talk about the plants, they go through energy and frequency.
So if you get plants and they wither quickly, that means what?
The person doesn't like you because the frequency that they have, bad energy or the low frequency, they're giving it to you. They're passing it on to the flower. I swear that plant was here for like the beginning of last year. Hasn't died yet, bro.
Hasn't died yet.
I don't water it. I don't water it. That's still good. I've never watered that plant the moment we've got it.
I water it, bro.
Yeah, okay.
I take care of it, bro.
Yo, loud for the theory, bro.
I am such a plant person, and I know that with love and attention, plants can grow. So if they can get that aura from somebody who gave you the plant, that might be an idea.
I figured it out. So if you're into conspiracies or out-of-the-box thinking, this video's for you. Have you ever noticed whenever you're traveling outside of your body, it's always depicted as blue? Even in the movie Soul, when they show a soul, it's this teal blue looking color. Yet you always still look like you, but just in the essence of a blue color. Same clothes and everything. So it got me to thinking, where else have I seen this? And then I remember where I often see this color at. And it's with holograms. I give the same transparency and blue look that you do when you're outside of your body. Every single hologram I've ever seen is the color blue. And it's basically showing the same color blue as it shows the spirit when it's outside the body. Even when they showed Tupac in concert as a hologram, notice how there's blue lighting bouncing off of his body. And it wasn't just that picture. It was blue lighting around him. So then I went to see, what is a hologram made of? And it says light and interference patterns. And it's three-dimensional, just like us. Then that got me to remembering, how do we see? We see based on light, which converts into electricity, and that's how our brain determines what we're looking at. Interesting. So does this mean that we are actually really a hologram, like those documents said? Or is this just a coincidence? Whatever it is, I just thought I'd share. And of course, this is for entertainment purposes. But make sure to like and comment and let me know what you think.
But we're not walking around with a blue light around us. Like Tupac when that hologram concert thing years ago. I see what she meant about the blue light, but just in general, you don't have blue light around you. So why would you ask if we are holograms?
When you go to Antarctica, it's an ice wall, and everybody go like up, and they look for the other places. But if you want to find the Anunnakis and stuff, you got to go straight over the ice wall, and you gonna pass a little island, and this island globe. They call it the island of Abraxas. I'm gonna tell you something you don't know about Abraxas, right? I'm gonna tell everybody God's real name, because you know the red moon came, and now we at war with the fake god of Earth. We got to kill him. God's real name is Abraxas. So look it up. God's real names. They want to pray. They got to pray to Abraxas and Sophia. Because Sophia God be. I mean, that's his wife, Sophia. And then Jesus, they son. So that's the three that the church got to praying to, and everybody was confused. But I just put it together so they know. So it's three. It's Abraxas, it's Sophia, and it's Jesus. That's the Holy Trinity the church talking about. But that ain't gonna give you all the power. But the power is in Abraxas.
It was the fake God.
The God everybody pray to, the God of the Bible. He fake. He psycho. He backdoor. He got locked in a firmament, and then he run around trying to lock us in too and say, ain't no other God but me. If somebody told me, be good, I'll be good. But if he told me, be good, I'ma burn you, bitch, burn me then. Stop playing with me, burn me. I ain't scared of you. But you tell me to have no fear, but you gonna burn me? So why I'm listening to you? But when you a kid, they can tell you that, because you ain't gonna make it make sense. But even in the book of Genesis, the first book, God said, let us make man in his image. Who the fuck was he talking to then? At the church, they gonna say he was talking to himself. They crazy. They was talking to all the rest of the spirits to make sure that they made man in their image, not in the image of God, not in the image of Abraxas.
So, first of all, I'm gonna need to know where he got all this information from, because it's a little bit hard to follow for me what he's saying. If there was a way for me to find the information, I could make a better decision on whether or not I believe this. And to me, his demeanor comes off as somebody that's a little bit unhinged. So I just don't know about him.
Sunscreen is a scam. That's basically what it is. You're taking Rockefeller petroleum, rubbing it all over your skin, and baking it into your skin. You're baking petroleum into the largest detox pathway of your body. How does it make any sense to take Rockefeller petroleum, rub it all over your skin, which gives us life and all the plants, and say, these frequencies, I don't really want to do that anymore. I'm going to put this petroleum all over me. That makes a lot of sense. It's interesting because SPF became popular in about the 1970s. Everybody was very healthy. You look back at the 1970s, everybody was tan, everybody was healthy, everybody was fit, and then sunscreen became real popular. Why? Because they were trying to poison the people while they're laying out at the beach. It's a great example of baking something into your skin. They're like, they probably won't eat that chemical, so you know what? We'll turn it into sunscreen. And then we'll say it protects them. It protects them from this big ball of life that's called the sun. There's so many natural things. You can use things like tallow. You can use things like non-nano zinc. You can use things like pearl powder, carrot seed oil. All these beautiful natural things. But instead, you got a bottle of sunscreen, which has about 75 ingredients, which are all linked to an illness. And who knows what they are, because you can't even pronounce them.
Well, damn it. Now I gotta throw away the sunscreen. What is paraseed oil? I'm gonna have to look that up.
If there were a firmament that was getting lower to the ground as you went south beyond the Antarctic shoreline, planes would have to fly lower. That is something that would just make sense on the biblical Earth model. And when you look into what actually happens in Antarctica, you find out that, wait a minute, planes do actually fly lower. How much lower? Well, a lot lower. When you look at their elevation, it's around 11,000 feet in the Antarctic region. When you go to the Arctic, it should be exactly the same because they say we live on a globe and the south and the north are exactly the same. However, they're flying at 29,000 feet, far higher because they don't have to worry about a barrier. And it's not some barrier we're making up. There is footage of this barrier. We've shared it before. There are declassified documents that speak of it. The Encyclopedia Britannica talks about a dome-like structure being around 13,000 feet beyond the 80th south parallel. I used to think there could be another explanation for that. However, there might be some truth to those numbers given that they're flying that low in Antarctica. What do you guys think? Let us know. I think this is fascinating.
I don't know what I think. So this is why I have a concern about the Bible that we currently are reading. Don't get me wrong, and don't come for me, but I think that there are some truths in the Bible, but I also think that the Bible was manipulated, and I am on the hunt for a Bible that makes more sense than this one to me. I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but I honestly feel like what this lady said in this video could possibly be true, especially when people were taken from their homelands and told that their religion was demonic and switched them over to Christianity. Why? And were they not thriving under their own religious practices where they were from? I have questions.
You should never eat at a stranger's house, especially if they're sick. If a sick person cook your food, that sickness will go directly into the food that you eat. Now you sick. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. If a person don't like you, they can put curses and spells on your pots and pans. You ever ask yourself how the hell do family generational curses spread through the whole bloodline? That's because someone put a spell on their pots and pans. So once this person eat from the pots and pans, that's going directly into your bloodline. But we need to understand where the hell the pots and pans come from. Back in ancient times, we were all vegans, but now we are using pots and pans. Pay attention to the water and pay attention to the heat. The water represents the rain. The heat on the stove represents the sun. The rain and the sun was actually cooking our food. We never used pots and pans. So where the fuck did it come from? It comes from witchcraft. We call these cooking pots. Our ancestors knew that they were magic pots. These pots was designed to trap energy and release energy. That's why you will always see a witch or a warlock making their magic spells in a pot. It started out like this, and it ended up like this. We have spirits that tricked us, and the name of these spirits is the jinn. They are made out of smokeless fire. So that steam you see is really smoke, and it's coming from the jinns, the magicians. You should never eat at a stranger's house, and you should never sleep in a stranger's bed. You should never let a stranger touch you that you don't know. Everything is dealing with energy.
Now, I believe that you shouldn't eat at everybody's house. And who the heck is going in anybody's house in this day and age when they're sick? Like, we are done doing that, I hope. But I do believe that people can do things to your food to make you sick. I do believe that not all people have good intentions, even when it looks like they are being hospitable to you. We don't know other people's dark sides. So I would say, for me, other than close family, I don't think I would be having dinner at anybody else's house. I don't want to leave there with something I didn't come there with.
What is one conspiracy theory you secretly believe in?
The moon landing was fake.
Fake?
And the U.S. just pretended because they aren't that nigga and they love to fake that they are that nigga. That is something that is in the back of my head.
Because of the shadow, but then again,
I don't look
with
into
technology, it could be real.
It could be real.
But
I believe it. I feel like they've gotten to the moon, but when it happened, I think they might have capped on it.
It's an ice wall outside the U.S. that you can't leave, bro. You can't go over that joint, and it's elites behind that joint.
What is that? Are you talking about Area 51?
No. I'm saying it's like an ice wall around the globe, and it's a flat Earth. Look up Admiral Byrd, bro.
So the moon landing was fake. I 100% believe that. I've seen videos of the movie set that they used, but it doesn't even look real, even without that part of it. The ice wall, I need more investigation. Like, I need more information on the ice wall. And as far as flat earth, I'm kind of teetering. My sister she's like, the world is a globe. I don't care. I don't know why people keep saying it's flat, but I'm not as wound up in that thinking, I would say. But yeah, the moon landing was a fact. All right, and thank you for sticking with me through the end of this video. Please remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back with the new set of videos to give the side eye to.